So let's talk about vibrato in singing. What exactly is it? Why does it come so naturally to some and is yet so elusive for others? Why is it sometimes hard to turn on or hard to turn off? And what are some practical exercises that you can do today that will strengthen and improve your vibrato? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today, so stick around. First up, let me introduce myself. I'm Whitney Nicole, singer-songwriter, vocal coach, and creator of The Singing Straw, a vocal tool that helps singers develop a healthier, stronger, and more balanced voice. And before we begin, make sure you like and subscribe down below so you're notified when our weekly singing videos drop. Let's go. Okay, so most of our videos on the Singing Straw channel are mainly exercises, and I don't want to talk too much because the most important thing is that you are experimenting and vocalizing in your voice. But before we jump into some vibrato exercises, I do want to make sure we go over some basics. Number one, what exactly is vibrato? Well, vibrato is a quick, slight up and down movement of pitch on a held or a sustained note. So you're not moving all the way up to the next note or down to the next note, but you're just going slightly above and slightly below very quickly in this oscillation, nice, relaxing wave. Sounds simple, right? Well, here's where it gets tricky. So how exactly do we achieve vibrato? Well, because vibrato happens so quickly, you can't manually create it, meaning it's not a physical movement in your throat. And if you try to create vibrato like that, you can end up with a very muscular, inconsistent, and unpleasant sound. What's interesting is that if you think about it, as humans, we don't really straight tone anything naturally. Our bodies have these tremors, so we're not ever frozen still. Think about it. If you try to hold your hand out, are you able to keep it frozen still? Or are you seeing those slight little movements, right? You see my fingers kind of going up and down. This is human, this is natural. And with our voices, it's a very similar thing. So when we hear a straight tone, it's just that we've steadied the note enough to perceive it as a straight tone. So in terms of finding vibrato, a lot of what we're trying to do is set the scene for nice, easy foundation so that your vibrato can naturally show up. So how do we lay that healthy foundation? Well, in order to kickstart the natural vibrato, we need to ensure that our voice is full of ease and efficiency. That means effortless, right? Steady, even breath, acoustic, energetic shaping, and no tightness or tension. So this is where the Singing Straw comes in. It helps your body find the sweet spot in your voice, creating the maximum amount of output for the least amount of effort, essentially giving you more bang for your buck. And this freedom is the perfect condition for vibrato to join the party. So if you're new to the Singing Straw, be sure to check out some of our other videos, most especially our go-to daily vocal warm-up, which I'll link up here, and do that daily for a few weeks to really get a handle on the feeling of the Singing Straw. But once you've done that, we want to basically take some held notes or sustained notes to try to bring in some of that vibrato that you would have on an open vowel. So we're going to take a major arpeggio, and what I want you guys to do is just hold this top note. And see if you can bring in that vibrato on the top note and also on the bottom note, so anywhere you're holding. Now again, as you go through here, we're gonna just take this chromatically up. It's okay if it's not there or if it's not there on every note just yet. It's totally normal for that to happen. But what I want you to do is just pay attention if you're hearing it. And my lower singers, drop down the octave. My higher singers can sing with me. Here we go. That's it, keep it going. And we're gonna go a little bit higher. Couple more, guys. And last one. Now, did you notice anything? So again, it's totally okay if you don't get the vibrato or feel the vibrato on every single note. It's oftentimes easier in certain places of your voice and harder in others. A lot of that depends on balance, so if you're looking for a workout to smooth your transitions and find more balance, check out our Smoothing Your Break video, which I'll link here. But again, don't stress if you don't feel it kick in on every single note. This is about practice. Just notice where it does. And if you're not feeling it at all anywhere, check on a few things. Number one, are you getting a nice, full, relaxed breath before each exercise? Right? Because you need that breath and that airflow in order to kickstart that ease and flexibility on the vibrato. Number two, are you holding any tension anywhere? Meaning, are you kind of stuck in one position? Do you notice maybe in a mirror any muscles kind of kicking in? Are you fighting the resistance of the straw? There are a couple of tips and things you can do here, but I would just suggest to move around your body. Try standing if you're sitting. Try changing, maybe moving your head back and forth, but you don't want to be holding any tension. Lastly, try adding a physical cue, like a hand movement or an arm wave. Remember, I'm not saying to shake yourself physically here. This is not, ooh, that's not what I'm going for. What we're trying to do is just give your brain a little cue that you want to start the sound. So for me, if I'm holding that arpeggio, I'm not actually shaking my instrument, but sometimes giving that hand movement or arm movement, any kind of sort of movement that works for you can help to trigger your brain into jump starting that vibrato. So given those tips, we're gonna now take just a single note hold. So we're gonna start here, my guys, down here. We're just gonna hold this on the straw. And what I want you to do, especially my more advanced singers and the people that are really comfortable with vibrato and already using it, I want you guys to work on controlling it. So straight tone into vibrato. For example, and you can straight tone into vibrato, then you can even play around with turning it off, right? So, and it's tough, right? And really want to try to watch your pitch and see if you can stay steady. So I'm gonna take this now, we're gonna move up. Do this with me, you guys. So again, if you're just finding the vibrato, think about the points I just mentioned around your breath and making sure that you don't have any tension and that you're using a physical cue. And my more advanced singers, you guys can work on holding that straight tone into the vibrato and then maybe turning it on and off. Okay, so here we go. Right, use that physical cue if you need it. And it's totally okay if certain notes are harder than others. And what I want you to do too is now, maybe if you're watching this video back or if you consider yourself a little bit more advanced in the vibrato world, you can start moving to a vowel. So maybe take an oo, for example. So alternating between the straw, I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna go to my oo. Right? And I'm gonna try to hold that same feeling. Back and forth with the straw and the oo. Couple more, guys. And last one. So playing around with this and knowing that some people are going to find the higher notes easier, some people are going to find the lower notes easier. You can also play around. This is, again, the key with this is practice, practice, practice. So essentially, if you're new to vibrato, you want to be using the straw to start to try to notice when it joins the party or when it shows up. And if you're more advanced, you're wanting to use the straw to control, to turn on, to turn off, and really start to get more intentional with how and where you're using vibrato. And then you want to move and experiment with taking things from the straw to different vowel shapes so that then ultimately when you move to songs, you're going to be all that more free in choosing when and where you want to add that vibrato. Awesome. I hope that helps to kickstart, strengthen, and better control your vibrato. Remember, the singing straw helps to ensure your voice is working smoothly and efficiently. It helps to lay that healthy foundation for vibrato to show up to the party. So let me know down below how this is working in your voice, and definitely ask any questions that you have. I do try to get to all your comments. While you're down there, please hit that like and subscribe button along with the bell next to it. That way you're notified when our weekly singing videos drop. Great to sing with you guys again today. I hope to see you next week.